You were a great, great player.
Dreyer with a shot.
So what are you doing with your time now, post-soccer?
And now for CSA Sports. On a last-second penalty kick today.
This is your credit card company. If George Dreyer is no longer at this number, press 1. If George Dreyer is deceased, press 2.
You ever think what it might have been like if I hadn't screwed it all up?
All the time, I wondered. You were the most exciting thing that ever happened to me, George.
All right, playing for keeps. And y'all can keep this shit.
And I ain't playing.
I think this movie should fold. Man,
Gerard, Butler, how the mighty have fallen. Jesus Christ.
Well, you mean how the mighty never really got a chance to rise?
Yeah, like how they were in one movie that made a lot of money and then they were just Gerard Butler and a bunch of crappy rom-coms.
And the sad thing is, it's not like Gerard Butler is bad, but nobody really got him anything except rom-coms and shitty biographies.
That's just it. The guy's got charisma.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it even. And he's a super good-looking guy. He's got a fucking accent. What more do you want, right? He has money in the bank, or you would think.
You would think. On
and
paper,
I go, it's like he can't be stupid to be as competent as he is on screen, because he is competent. But something around him is stupid.
I just keep like picturing I want him. I have this fantasy. I want him to run into his goddamn agent's office, kick him in the fucking chest, and just tell him that these scripts, this is shit, and kick him in that fucking abyss, because I cannot believe how much of a wasted fucking talent this guy is now.
You know what? We're thinking about some of his recent movies. This guy has made tons of movies. He's made tons of action films, except those have not been very memorable either. The Bounty Hunter and Gamer. I mean, this guy goes back to making TV movies and stuff back in the 90s. I remember, I should know how his career went, because I remember when he came out with Dracula 2000. And you know how I remember that? Because when Raymond, everybody listened sometime next to stories
Your
about
old
Max roommate Raymond. Raymond loved, before the movie came out, he was looking forward to goddamn Dracula 2000.
He had that fucking poster.
He had a poster the size of a door.
Yeah.
And whenever I would come out into the living room, fucking Gerard Butler was looking at me because Raymond had him on his wall.
I never saw that atrocity, so you're just giving me some information that motherfucker was in that movie. Wow.
I didn't, but I saw him every day.
Was he Dracula or Van Helsing?
He was Dracula.
I can't even picture that. I want to suck your blood, boyo.
And now he's just, I want to be in a sucky motion picture.
Now I have this crazy desire to actually see that movie now.
No, you don't.
That is a crazy
I'll call up Raymond. Tell him to bring his DVD
I'm pretty sure Gerard Butler went around and bought every copy.
Him and Raymond,
Raymond
had a big bonfire.
Yeah, somehow Raymond found the Criterion edition of Dracula 2000. There was never one made, but he has it. He loves that fucking movie. But no, Gerard Butler
you have to go to the landfill right next to all the E.T. game cartridges to get one.
No, Gerard Butler, he's had his share of bad comedies, and bad rom-comedies, romantic comedies.
I think he may be a record holder for how many movies we've seen with him that got given fuck yous.
Maybe so. Yeah,
you could be right.
I went through and looked at some of them.
Katherine Heigl or some weird cross between the two.
Oh yeah. No, both fighting for that role.
How many movies was he in with Katherine Heigl?
Well, just the one, but that was
that's what I'm saying. Is they both are
just but if you add up the scores,
if you were to measure both of their careers and how many shitty rom-coms they've both been.
Or just shitty movies, period.
And they were actually,
they were one together.
Yeah,
The Bounty Hunter was
they're
that,
about neck and
No,
neck.
that's what Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, the movies that he's done, the romantic comedies that he's done there's not that many actually. He's done The Ugly Truth, P.S. I Love You.
That was
The Bounty Hunter and 300. I count that as a gay romantic. So
that's the best romantic comedy ever.
Ever, yes. But now he's in this. And with this movie, playing for keeps in here, he plays a professional ex-soccer player who somehow managed to fuck up every good fortune he's had in his life. He had a great career. He doesn't have that anymore. He's had a hot wife. He's divorced from her. They had a son together. They both don't really want to have shit to do with him. And now that he's trying to spend more time with his son's starting to warm up to him. He's about to fuck that up again too, because when he sees his son's soccer coach not really being into being into actually coaching the kids, guys on the cell phone, big fat ass out there just on the cell phone, just kicking the ball.
Yeah. It was like he was being forced to watch a Gerard Butler movie.
He's like, oh, that's what he's on the phone with. Shit, Gerard Butler's here. But he's but when he sees the coach just screwing around, he says, all right, I'm gonna go out here and just for an hour or two, just show the kids how to just kick the ball right. Well, that night, the parents all saying, man, that guy was good with the kids. And the wife calls up. The ex-wife says, hey, played by Jessica Biel, by the way. And she says, look, the parents love you. You're really good with the kids. They want you to coach. Well, I really have some things going on. I'm trying to get a career at ESPN. I'm doing my demo tape. Well, fuck, see you fucking up again. You don't love your son.
That is happening through this entire movie. Like, she will not give him a break or let him live his life at all. Like, well, I have a TV deal in the works and I need to be there the next day. Fine, you want to be a shitty father the rest of your life? Go ahead.
You were never there.
You lazy motherfucker.
Yeah, all right. You want him to hate you the rest of your life? Like, I hate you, you son of a bitch. Okay, all right, I'll coach the team.
What else to say? I mean, you were saying he's this guy who's like washed up now, but the only reason he's washed up is because he was a professional soccer player or football, as it were, in Europe, where people care about that.
Yeah, his mistake was getting
moved to Virginia to be near his kid. It's like, come on, all should be forgiven.
Not very bright.
What went wrong here?
It's like, oh yeah, they like football in Virginia, just not
that football.
I like the fact that they actually had two sports announcers like having a whole show about fucking soccer. I'm like, where the hell does this exist?
What fucking fantasy world is this?
You can catch that on ESPN 16.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but or the channels that don't speak English.
Yeah, but now he goes out to coach the team, and everything looks like it could go pretty smooth. The kids are loving him. His son is looking up to him now. Oh, Dad, you're great.
Never coached before, but I have played the game since I was pretty much your age, and it's a great game. So the only thing I'm going to ask you guys to do on your own, do 5-10 minutes a day, maybe passing the ball about with somebody, anybody you can find. I mean, you guys have all got, a brother or a mother or a sister or somebody. Yeah.
Coach, I had a sister, but she died.
Oh, really?
I have a brother, though. Should I play with him?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Coach,
Okay.
my grandpa died of smoking. Coach, my dad sleeps in the maid's room, and my mom cries at night.
Okay, yeah, okay, come on, kids, let's take the field.
Okay.
All right?
Excellent.
Okay.
Beautiful.
If it only weren't for those hot-ass soccer moms that are like, hey, single dad out in the field. Let's see how we can fuck his life up even more. The reason why I really have a hard time with romantic comedies is because, and I'm not talking about all of them, because we've seen some that are exceptions.
I've seen some that I think were great. Matter of fact, there's one that came out this year that's my favorite movie of the year right now.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. You have to either have to be extra edgy where it's almost an independent movie to come out and do something different with the romantic comedy. The reason why I hate romantic comedy so much is because they're sitcoms. They're television sitcoms stretched out to an hour and a half at least, and they have a big name cast.
They're usually this crap that they dish out to you, which is like just completely paint by numbers. They're giving you some kind of stereo with a deadbeat dad and a mom who's trying to make, take care of her kid, all the typical trappings of a romantic comedy where you're like, okay, where's the part where these two are going to try to get together? The whole family's going to try to get together. Oh, he has some crazy situation with, a bunch of wives who want to fuck him. Where's the point where, the wife discovers this and then everything fucks up only for them to get together.
I would even go
end.
further and say that's kind of being actually distinct right there. The more broad things that I'm thinking about are, you actually mentioned one of them. You go through a bunch of goofy situations until you hit a point where people don't understand each other, don't bother to talk it out until by some miracle they actually get back together at the end because that's what everybody wants to see. Sometimes that's okay, sometimes it's not. But here they do it to the point where they just don't give a fuck. They actually do. They actually underdevelop some parts of this movie, so you don't feel anything. So when they actually have to conveniently put the two pretty romantic leads together, you feel just happy without having any consequence to think about.
Well, the worst part here is that it's not even as formulaic as you're saying until it gets to that last minute. We're like, well, we got to make this show who this movie's for the bored housewives who are having estrogen issues.
Yeah.
But where like the happy ending, the double happy ending comes out of fucking nowhere that makes no sense with the movie you've seen and leaves a character who appears to at least to be a perfectly nice guy hanging in the wind. It's just like nobody really wrote this movie so much as they were like, let's just take a romantic comedy and make it not funny, and we'll make people think they're watching an edgy, like, romantic drama until the end where it's clear that, no, we're just lazy.
Well, something you said last night was that the movie painted itself into a corner.
Oh, totally.
Because it keeps trying to tell you, like, oh, he's a bad father. He's a terrible father. Never really giving you an example of that. He's just a guy who had a professional career. And then you have the wife, Jessica Biel, who's just hammering him. And at some point, they must have woke up and were like, wow, we've told everybody he's unlikable. We've made her unlikable. But we got to make everybody happy. And she's got a nice guy for a fiance. Shit, what do we do here?
Well, the only thing...
like, well, somebody's got to lose. The only thing... And who doesn't have... Who's the one person in this scenario that nobody knows?
The only thing they could have done in that situation to make it work is, and which would seem to be the obvious thing, is have a relationship develop with one of these various sex-crazed wives, make the one that's sane. And it looked like it was going to be Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Sure.
Like, that's where the movie was going. She was going to be the one that he would actually develop a real relationship with. And you're like, okay, I mean, this will be bland, but at least it'll be believable. But that's not even happening here. It's just, it wants so hard for you to laugh at things that aren't funny, but that it forgets that there's no one to root for. There's no way you can end. There is no ending that would make anyone satisfied.
I actually thought in the first 30 minutes it was funny. I mean, it was
really because I couldn't find.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I wasn't loving it, but I said, okay, this is not great, but I'm chuckling at some of these things. It's definitely not good because, as I said, it's just. It's very goofy.
Well, I think
start out with.
Well, I think what you're talking about, what was making it good, was that they are actually introducing you to Gerard Butler's character. You know, you're getting to know this guy. You're learning about his career, learning he has a family, learning he's just trying to get through the day without his fucking wife yelling at him, telling him constantly that, hey, you're a bad father, you know, where I'm like, dude, what did...
Well, you know what it was? It was a guy who was down on his luck.
Well, okay, it was fun to laugh at him.
You know, you were laughing at this guy who was down on his luck, and he just couldn't seem to dig himself out of a bad situation. I mean, this is before it hit the real bad romantic comedy part of it. It was just, we were watching this guy who was meeting all these crazy chicks who have these different personalities, who was trying to do well, and you even look at him, it's like, man, you have some of the best, worst luck in the world. You know, it's like you're getting fucking ass thrown at you everywhere you look, and it's all right. I mean, it's exaggerated, but it's okay. Like I said,
now we're seeing the part that Korey liked.
Yeah, I know.
Relatable. I was because they do have a cast in here that. At the beginning, they can handle this material because the material is written badly, but the actors are kind of embracing it. And they're making this something more through their performances. This is the part that irritates me when you get a bad comment like this that has so many it has so many good people in it. Because looking at the list right here, you have Catherine Zeta-Jones, just as we had mentioned, who's a power mom, just looking to, for some quick one-night stands with the guy. You have Judy Greer, who's a nutcase who just got divorced and is pretty much stalking Gerard Butler in here. And then you have Uma Thurman, who's married to Dennis Quaid, and he's cheating on her all the time. So she just says, well, fuck, I'm going to get my revenge by fucking Gerard Butler. And you can see how all these situations describing their personalities, how you can predict how they would play out for him.
Well, for me, the movie just seemed like a series of just underdeveloped subplots. I mean, they would introduce you to these wives, and then they drop them, and then they introduce you to this guy Dennis Quaid. You think he may play a bigger part in the movie? They drop them until they're all needed at the very end to basically make the typical bullshit paint by numbers rom-com movie that you'd expect.
And that's the thing.
And that's what's so goddamn annoying about it, because it's like, man, you guys didn't even attempt to try to do anything with this. I mean, because I was like, what is this movie really about? And who is the audience for this fucking movie?
It has elements of all these other movies that are just left unfinished and lying around to come to make this sloppy ending. I mean, even the father and son bonding film, of which we see practically no scenes of them actually doing any bonding, except for one scene, which is really dangerous and inappropriate. Really? Well, he's letting the kid drive his Lamborghini.
I fucked up, kid.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of childhood you had. Yeah,
I kept waiting for that car to fucking flip over, and I'm like, oh, wait till Jessica Biel. Wait till she gets a hold of you.
Had no seatbelt on, and they're going 100 miles down the road in a Ferrari. And he's doing this because he fucked up. Hey, kid, I just got through fucking one of these moms. Yeah. We missed the soccer game. You want to drive?
Yeah, I know.
But the movie actually, there was a turning point for me, and it went from being just something silly and forgettable. I can tell this is where we tip into bullshit right here. Is when he's talking to Uma Thurman, and he's on the phone with her. Now, see, Gerard Butler has it so bad that he's staying in somebody's guest house, and every time somebody meets him, they thinking, "Oh, you used to be a famous soccer player." Yeah, because he's staying in the guest house of this Indian guy, and everybody's like, "Hey, I love your house." He's like, "Well, I'm just staying in the house next to the pool right here." But Uma Thurman calls him up, as all these wives are doing, and she says, "Hey, psst, guess where I am?" And he's like, "Where are you?" And meanwhile, he's talking to the guy whose house he's staying in, and because the Indian guy's fucking with him about his rent. "Where's my rent?" He's like, "I'll get it for you." He's talking to the guy right now. "I'm gonna get you the rent," and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta take a call real quick." Call ends up being Uma Thurman. She's like, "Guess where I am?" He's like, "Well, I don't know." She's like, "I'm in your room. You have a really nice house."
And a lot of pictures of Arabs in here.
And that was the thing. She said, well, first of all, it's really bad that, okay, you can see where this is going right now. She's in the wrong house. Oh, how's Gerard Butler going to stop the silly Hindu guy from finding her? But what really got to me is when she said, "Yeah, this is a really great place." And she looks at the wall and she says, "It's a little bit too Hindu for me." And then when they put the camera on the wall, they actually play sitar music, and a gong. I'm like, y'all can't even get y'all's culture right. Gong is for Chinese.
You see pictures of Al Qaeda all on the wall. You're like, wait a minute. You see that snake in that basket start coming up.
All right, guys, stop. The guy's actually Arab. So all these references to Indian.
We're pointing out how
he was Indian, man.
No, they said Arab.
Yeah. Well, look. The point was,
and even that actor plays Abed's dad on Community, where he's Arab.
Leon, we're basically trying to express how ridiculous that scene was. That was the point of that.
That's just one of a number of poor ways that guys use and attempt to inject comedy in an unfunny movie. The worst of which that started being creepy, where there are all these scenes where Gerard Butler's kissing somebody in the front or fighting off, escorting Pretty Woman out of his house, and he's always looking in the dark out of his house through slitted Venetian blinds.
Yeah, I was like, why did they write this?
I'm like, that dude is jerking off. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is since when did Norman Bates become a part of this movie, and how is he going to fit in with his creeping around that they show a number of times, but they don't really explain besides just being creepy, what's the point of it all?
That guy, he's just one more, and it really, the movie was making me sad. It made me disturbed and sad to see people who were used to think of as great, Uma Thurman and Dennis Quaid and Catherine Zeta-Jones. And even Judy Greer in this movie playing cartoon characters for the most part.
Dennis Quaid has played his share of cartoon characters.
Dennis Quaid, he's played cartoon characters, but this was the most "Hey pal, I'm rich, I'm your best buddy, but I'm crude and I'm crass and I talk loud and I hit you every time. I gotta hit you every time. Come on, let's ride with me. Take my car. Bail me out of jail.
You know what really makes me sad? Is that you're right. This guy's from Pakistan. The guy that we're talking about, his name is Iqbal Theba.
Hey, he may be from Pakistan, but he was playing a fucking Indian.
See? And that's another thing that this movie can't get right. That guy's from Pakistan. They made him an Indian.
I know, right?
The movie did that. It wasn't us.
Racist,
messed up.
Racist director.
Hey, it's racist, man.
There was a moment where I was like, why is Korey so quiet? Oh, he was trying to prove me wrong.
Yeah, you got damn right. I was looking at it. I was doing some research right now.
I thought the recording had failed. I was like, why isn't he stopping us?
I've got a satellite on this guy right now. He's actually in Pakistan.
Dressed up like Inspector Clouseau and everything.
Yeah. He's probably got the best chance of any of these actors of having a successful career again, though. I swear to God. This movie is a list of people who once either were there and then lost it, or never quite got there and now are just proceeding to be in worse and worse and worse films. Everybody.
It's that right before you get on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Or people who are already on their way to Dancing with the Stars, which is going to be Jessica Biel. Because I'm just like, really? This is you and fucking Gerard Butler. You need to fire your agents. You need to fire them quick.
Absolutely.
And actually read your fucking scripts. I mean, because it's sad to think, I kind of had to realize that, Jessica Biel is kind of a talent, But seeing her more and more in these movies like this, I'm just like, all right, she's gonna.
Well, she kind of flip flops. She does some good things. She does some bad things. She just works a lot.
I don't even see her work that much. I thought actually,
she's in a movie that we're about to talk about. Actually,
well, true. But I mean, there's parts in this where I was like, wow, she's really throwing her all into it. It's too bad it's this.
Yeah. It's too bad she's written like a fucking bitch in half the first hour of the movie where you can't help but dislike. I'm like, what, did they have one of the guys from the Walking Dead writer character? Because that's how you felt. You're like, man, you are acting like a complete bitch to this guy who's honestly showing the audience that he's struggling, trying to be exactly, what you wanted him to be at some point.
The problem with that is that the movie is missing some very key scenes, because the way she's coming at him, it's like, look, you need to explain why she's this angry. And you have his buddy going like, man, that guy used to get more ass in the toilet seat. It's like, but then you like play it off like it's a joke. But like if they actually spent some time showing what her life was like with him during that time, then you'd have some sympathy.
It's just the movie. It's just it is underwritten even for being underwritten.
Yes.
I mean, how more manipulated can this hack script be than right at the movie starts? An hour into it, okay, where's the point that's going to come up where he gets pulled away from one of these women and he doesn't get to spend time with his son, or he leaves his son hanging somewhere, or people misunderstand that, one of these women tried to kiss him, but he really didn't want to, but they thought that he was doing that, and he uses the line that everybody knows he's going to use.
Yeah, it's not what it looks like.
It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. And the thing that bothered me the most, as if this material wasn't being manipulated enough, they have to come out and they have to manipulate the audience to the point where, as I was saying when we started this review, they're gonna take care of you. This movie, hey, you can't handle hard decisions,
right?
This is supposed to be fluff right here. We can't let you walk out of here upset. We can't even let you even contemplate a situation that's complicated. So, what Gerard Butler's doing through the movie is trying to get back with Jessica Biel, even though she says, I'm about to get married. She's got a fiance.
She's literally like a week or two away.
The wedding is about 2 or 3 weeks away. She's getting fitted for a dress, making arrangements, and he's still making a play. Now they show us the fiance, and this poor guy spends the whole movie being the nicest fucking guy in the world. Now, granted, he has nothing else to do in the movie because it only comes in about 5-second spurts here or there. But throughout the whole movie, he's just like, "Hey, honey, do you need anything? Hey, babe, how you feeling? Hey, you all right?" Just happy, just like almost like a fucking puppy.
Like it's his own.
Every time you see him with the son, he's hey, champ, hey, sport, how you doing? How was the game today?
Anna Karenina would love this guy.
Not acting jealous of the ex-husband coming around, being totally supportive in that situation. I was like, man, I want to marry this guy.
But I tell you what he did do, how he did fuck up. He was just like a slob in every scene.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
He wasn't even that.
No. He's only in like 4 or 5 scenes, only for a few seconds. But I noticed like there was something that was bothering me. It's like, wow, every scene they show this guy, it's almost like he's in his pajamas. He's just never dressed well.
Oh, he's at home, man. He's in his.
I was gonna say that seemed a little.
Yeah, he's in.
I'm joking about saying that's how he's fucking up, but I'm saying that's how they're manipulating the audience to like take all the glamour from this guy. Gerard Butler, he's a famous sports player. This guy, he's no.
Damn, I was about to say, next time you come over, I'm gonna be dressed up in my suit.
It's not. I'm just saying, like,
fucking Korey, man.
It's another way the movie was manipulated.
I see what you're saying.
I'm just surprised that the movie didn't have a scene where she comes home and she walks in her bedroom and. Yeah. He's there fucking somebody. I was waiting for that scene to happen.
That's what they want you to think. See, that's the thing. The guy's so nice. Now, for all you romance novel women out there who don't want to know anything else, even though you can fucking tell what's going to happen, please step away if this is a spoiler for you, because I'm just going to bring it up because it's fucking stupid and you can see it happening in the movie. But this guy's been fucking smiling the whole time. And they make him a non-character, though. I mean, this guy just comes in and just says a few words here and there so that when she finally has to tell this guy that the wedding's off and get back with Gerard Butler, what does the audience have to do? They have to say, well, I didn't really know him anyway. I mean, they swept that motherfucker under the carpet.
No, they did.
That's the problem. They're walking out the door. You hear the under the welcome back.
The only thing they could have done other than that was like have her like reach around his back and pull out the air valve. And he was never real.
Yeah. He wasn't. He was the most underdeveloped character in the movie. That guy is just a stone cold plot device. He is not a person. He is not a human being. He's just there for Jessica Biel to make a hard decision. And it ain't really that hard for when it gets right down to it. But for us, it's for us to just say, oh, well, he'll be all right.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll be easy for him to recoup that $40,000 he spent on the wedding.
Oh, but you don't know he spent that much because you don't know shit about him, man.
That's the thing is they don't go into the details, but yeah, it's like someone who lives in the world and has a life where I have to do things from time to time. I was like, why is this movie fucking over this guy to this extent? I mean, what the fuck?
I felt
that's the only
3 weeks before the
surprise in
wedding,
this-
you would kill that bitch.
That's the only thing that's not telegraphed here completely is because I was like, oh, there's no way they're going to fuck over this guy. And then they do, and you're like, really?
I just felt bad for that kid. I'm like, wow, that kid has to grow up with 2 fucked up fucking parents. You know? I was like,
The one thing I thought that made Gerard Butler not a good father was that this time he spent with his son that he would go off with these women, he should have been teaching his son, hey, dude, hey, son, pussy comes first.
Yeah.
Now you sit over there and you play with her daughter while your dad go get some.
Hey, man, you know,
and don't rat me out.
as bad as this is going to sound,
guy code, right?
hey, as bad as this is going to sound coming from me, you know, he couldn't help it. That's actually where I felt bad for him.
Well,
I'm like,
because all the women in here were pretty much prostitutes. They were like not real people
Yeah,
at
they were,
all.
yeah.
They were.
Where were their valves at? Yeah.
He, like the moment he shows up,
between their legs.
he shows up, they do everything but start fingering themselves on the stands of their kids' soccer game.
That's where it just. It's another point in this movie where it just gets stupid. You know, you're just like, man, you know what? I don't even want to be here watching this crap because it's so it's just so written in, like telegraphed in. I hate it.
Leon, you yourself said how many. So you laughing, but I really felt sorry for Gerard Butler in those parts. You yourself said how many no's does a guy have in him? 2, 3. I mean, those women came up, and he was walking in the house, and they were waiting on him. They were waiting in the parking lot. And when they push up on him, did you see how he tried to fight it with that one no?
Hey, man.
He gave it his all, man.
Look.
He put everything into that no, man.
I understand a brother's not always going to have a no, but he can't have a, hey, later. My son is standing right behind
But
us.
you know, there was some part where the cat was at his own. Goddamn thing. She brought him to the cat was at his own. No, Catherine Zeta-Jones brought him. I mean, she lured him away because he said, "Look, I'm with my son." She's like, "No, we got to go to the studio because if you don't do this now, you're not gonna have the chance."
I understood that. That was all about work. I mean,
she
that's what
could have done it at any
look,
time.
son, I'm gonna lose this job if I don't go. I'm doing this for you.
Now, see, that was wrong for her. She made him leave his son there with the housekeeper at her house, and she could have recorded that shit at any time. But she lured. That was a fucking trap. She lured his ass to the station, cut off the lights, and fucked him, and then brought him back and made him look bad.
I'm not fighting you on that one. It's the other ones.
You know how, Corey, we've said before, like, we got to be careful because someday in a court of law, some of the things we recorded out there could be used against us. Well, I'm looking at your first divorce right now. Right now. Your Honor, I would like to play for your examination the review of Playing for Keeps.
I object, Your
Corey
Honor.
Goldman said, the man's only got 1 or 2 no's in him.
And as his defense attorney, I would say, my client clearly put his intentions publicly for the world to hear. Now, if she somehow pretends like she didn't know this, that's not on him.
Yeah, thank you.
Case closed.
Thank you. I should write you a check right now. I guess I'm gonna need you.
Leon, attorney at law, right there.
How's $5, man? But
if the review fits, you must be quit.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. You are not my lawyer, sir. You will get me put in jail. I'm the only one that would go to prison trying to get a divorce. If you were my
Come
lawyer.
on, man, you can borrow my white SUV.
No. But you know what, man? I just want to say that this movie, for the reason that it was just going in and just being so safe with what they had. I mean, safe to the point that they insulted the audience. I think this movie insults women. I would tell you what I would like to see. Fuck this film. I want to see the movie based on the fiance. That's a real fucking movie right there. That guy has problems. Now like you said, you want to see a movie about a guy that was dumped, spent $40,000, had a runaway bride. I mean, you know, that's a guy with a real problem. Not this guy who's getting ass thrown at him just because he can't turn it down.
Yeah,
you know?
talk about your white people problems. Jesus Christ.
It'd be more of a horror movie than a rom-com.
Like you know, the whole idea of some guy, like you're about to get married and some old boyfriend is coming up trying like, no, I'm in love with you. I want to win you back. It's like, no, creep. What the you have no social grace whatsoever. The fuck away from me.
Exactly.
No, but it's okay when he does it. But yeah, the next movie where the old fiance comes up and is like, I realize I'm still in love with you. I want to win you back. Let's see how much the audience roots for him.
This is awful, man. I'm just going to give my rating right here. When you make a formula for a formula, I mean, goddamn. I mean, how much more can you distrust the people that are coming to see your movie? And how much more can you do it to where you a person who's in the movie for a total of 3 minutes, that's the person you're the most sympathetic with. The person that you tried to not give any personality to.
The person you don't know.
Yeah, that's the person that you feel the worst for. Yeah. No, I mean, this movie trusts no one, so therefore I don't think it deserves any credit at all. I'm going to give this movie a fuck you.
Ooh.
I mean, it's insulting, man. The thing is, I hate romantic comedies anyway. I give them bullshit. This one it's to the point where it's an insult to the romantic comedy, because the romantic comedy will at least trust you somewhat. At some point, not here, goddammit. I know you think I'm being harsh, but fuck this, man.
I'm surprised. It's like I knew I would base my rating on yours because you said you were laughing in the beginning. And I wasn't. I was like, wow, I'm not finding one genuine laugh in this whole thing.
So now you got to give it a low fuck you.
Yeah. I was just like,
let's fuck up this rating even more.
There's no way that Korey liked this any bit better than me. But even I was just going to give it some old bullshit. I didn't walk out completely angry. I'm
Man, no, this committed too many sins. Yeah. Too many sins of the romantic comedy.
You're right.
Too many of them. Go ahead. I'm sorry. God damn it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about everything that was wrong with it, and I'd be hard pressed to find anything good. Like I said, there's a point when Jessica Biel cries, which I was like, you know what? She's actually good doing this. It's sad that she's wasting it on this piece of shit because there's been nothing good about it so far, and it's one of these rom-coms that what makes it insulting is that it clearly knows like the least amount it has to do. It goes like, look, our audience ain't asking for much, and this is all we're gonna give them, and fuck them, write us a check. And it's like when it's all said and done, it's like, wow, what a colossal waste of time that was. It's still some old bullshit. I don't know. I'm not ready to go fuck you because there was never a point when I felt like getting up and walking out. But it's
Can I tell you something about yourself? No, this is not an insult.
You don't even psychologists.
I've never known those words to not precede an insult.
No, you find this funny. Do you know that you actually perspire when you see stuff you don't like?
Do I really?
Yes, your hair starts
to sweat.
Yeah, you start to sweat a little bit, and I see you because every now and then when I think something is bad, I look over this. I'm sorry. When I think that you feel something is bad, I look over to you and you give me confirmation whenever I see you put your head down and you wipe your brow. you start rubbing that forehead.
Got to get that toxin out.
Yeah, and it's sweating that shit out. I've seen you do that so many times, man, and that's when I got the confirmation that he hates this.
I do hate it, but I guess I
thought you just sweated a lot
as much as you do. But yeah, it's easily some old bullshit.
Okay, I'm with you, Korey. This movie is not only just like some old bullshit, but it's insulting on top of that to everyone who could possibly be watching it. I mean, I would imagine that even most people who usually like these bland bottom dollar romantic comedies would still walk out of this going, I don't know, I just couldn't really connect with it because it's got this guy gleefully fucking all these sluts, like yeah, it's great with no comeuppance for that, really, there's all sorts of stuff where I'm like, I don't really see how this is gonna make even them happy. So I don't know. I mean, like a misogynist at the very least, if nothing else.
You point to Korey when you mention him.
Well, I'm agreeing with him.
No, subconsciously you were pointing at me.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
You kill them all. Good, Korey.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Hey, you leave them spades alone.
That's what they call entrapment. I was trying to get you.
Starring Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, right.
But,
there you go.
Oh my God.
He went there.
Man, you just bowled a 300 on that one. Starring Gerard Butler.
Oh God, I got to get out of this room. I'm ready to go the fuck home already. I want to go home.
It's a fuck you. Fuck this movie.
Yes.
I feel stupider for talking about this movie for an hour and a half, but yeah, I mean, it's completely dog shit. I mean, it's everything that it's what this world has come to as far as this country. How Hollywood looks at people, and and the funny thing is, people are dying to see this movie. I heard 3 women when we were leaving going, I don't care about any other movie this month. This is the one I wanted to see, and that says a lot because you know what? They liked it, they loved it. They're going to eat this shit up, and Hollywood's going to dish it out and shove it right up their fucking ass, and they're gonna love every second of it. Yeah, this is everything and much worse than we've all discussed about this tonight. And yeah, it is a fuck you in every sense of the word. And Gerard Butler and Jessica Biel, I pray for your souls. Because yeah, you're kind of fucked. You're a part of this mess. You're part of the fucking problem.
It's not too late to join, man.
Yeah.
Is there room for one more?
We're all on the fuck you ship.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, all right, you guys. Hey, in all honesty, you do make compelling arguments.
Yeah, there you go. I got $100 here. Says you cannot hit it.
You reckon you can handle this thing?
Are you serious?
Let's not tell your mom about this.